Cool. Have you got the key, by the way?
Hopefully.
Cool.
Don't get the immobiliser. Understand it now?
Yeah, I think I've got it. We'll find out, won't we? Just getting used to putting a key in the slot again. It's been a while. Wrap it all the way around to 7,000.
7.5. Red limiter.
Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I've got somewhat of a performance bargain in the Mark II Mazda MX5. This is actually a 1999 model. It's a Jap import, so technically it's the Mazda Roadster. And interestingly, this is the 1.8 VS Special Edition, so a little bit different from the normal 1.6. So quite excited to try it out. Going to give you a little bit of a look around the car, give you a bit of a tour, take you for a drive, see what it's all about. The Mark II Mazda MX5, or NB as it is also known, is the second generation of Mazda's ever popular two-seater sports car, sold from 1998 until 2005. The car is known as the MX5 in the UK, the MX5 Miata in the US, and simply the Mazda Roadster in Japan. As mentioned, this particular example is also a special edition called the VS and features the 1.8 engine, presumably the 140 brake horsepower BP4W, but not 100% sure on that, rather than the base 1.6. Apologies in advance for the lack of technical information regarding the VS edition. There really doesn't seem to be a lot out there on the internet regarding this Japanese exclusive variant. Even Matt, the owner of this car, hasn't been able to find out a huge amount despite plenty of Googling. One thing I can tell you though is that this car just seems to rev forever. In fact, the red line for this VS edition is at 7,500 RPM, rather than the usual 6,500 you get in most of these cars. That lovely rev-hungry engine is also mated to a 6-speed manual transmission for maximum back-to-basic thrills. Matt seems to think the VS is almost a more luxury variant of the RS model from around the same year, but isn't 100% sure. If any of you watching know anything more about the VS, please get in touch in the comments, as both Matt and I would be interested to hear about it. My MX5 experience up until this point is fairly limited. I once drove a standard 1.6 Mark II, but quite a few years ago, and also a Mark I, but again some time ago. I was definitely looking forward to getting reacquainted with one of these. It just so happens the weather was perfect for a top-down drive too. Anyway, enough of me talking, time to get behind the wheel with the owner Matt and see what it's like on the road.
Just like indicators on the right.
Oh yeah, good old school Japanese stuff.
There's a horse there as well. There's to start our video off nicely.
It does have that kind of classic sports car vibe. It feels like the bonnet's like longer than it is.
Yes. Whereas the Mark I with the pop-up lights, you can see where the front of the car is. It's quite a good indicator.
Not much feel on the brakes. But maybe that's because I'm used to more modern stuff.
I think they're used to having ABS. That's what it is.
Oh, this doesn't have ABS.
Hey. It's got airbags. What more do you want?
That's something. I love the gear shift though, it feels good.
Yeah, it's nice. It's very close ratio. Close ratio? Yeah, limited slip diff. So it locks up nicely. If you feel so inclined. Maybe not the first corner though.
Maybe not, maybe it's not my car, is it? So.
Well, it depends if you brake it or not. If you brake it, it's definitely going to be your car.
Good project.
Yeah.
Feels good.
Yeah, it's good you get the revs up there and keep them there.
It comes alive a lot later than the rev reach.
The later ones have got VVTi or VVT sort of thing, so you've got to work the later ones, but I think the early ones haven't. Yeah. Sort of the power band is higher up still.
Yeah. That's part of the fun in a way, though, isn't it?
Yeah, I like it. You've got to work the motor more.
Steering?
Yes.
Yeah. Obviously hydraulic though rather than electric.
It's hydraulic, yeah.
On the newer stuff. A lot of people still prefer hydraulic, don't they?
I think with hydraulic steering from the cars I've had previously, there's more feel.
Yeah.
And you tend to find the corners, you sort of feel more attached to the car.
It's 5-speed, yeah?
6.
6.
6 is quite close to reverse.
Just checking before I go for the 6 it's not there.
No, 6 is there, but reverse is also kind of there
somewhere
as well.
there.
So. Yeah, I've made that mistake a few times. I'll give it some.
Good fun.
Yeah, it's good fun. That's what I like about it, it's just simple, fun motoring. A lot of newer cars, and for me, they just don't do quite the same. Go for it.
What have you done to this?
I have fitted a high flow induction kit with a heat shield, upgraded spark plugs and leads. I fitted a front grille as well because no MX5 has a front grille as standard apart from the Mark III onwards.
Alright.
And you get a lot of stones flipping to the radiator. It's quite a bad design.
Didn't realise that, to be fair.
Yeah. It's to save weight, I think.
This is the VS Special Edition, this one.
Yeah, it's the VS Special, which is a Japanese import. I think it came over about 2004. I think I'm the second or third owner. And I think as standard on this spec, you've got a different different ratio diff.
Yeah.
It's a Torsen 3.9. If that means anything to you.
I mean, no.
No, it's fine. It's the most desirable diff to have for track use and fast road.
Okay.
Gives you a good feel, it locks up nicely.
Definitely the right kind of road for this.
Yeah, definitely.
And the right weather.
I love it out here.
Absolutely spot on, isn't it?
You like?
Yeah, it's good fun. And how much are these things worth now?
This one, being that it's not particularly rusty, it's kind of quite good in all the right places. I think I'd probably get around £3 for it. 2.5, 3. They're getting more collectible now, the Mark IIs, especially the sort of import ones. And limited editions, they're more desirable.
With the crazy prices of cars these days, I can't see that you could have a lot more fun for like £3.
Well, that's why I keep coming back to these now. I've had a few of them. I've had all sorts of expensive cars, and I come back to this because it's just, at the moment, it's sort of cheaper, fun motoring.
Yeah.
Stuff goes wrong, I can fix it myself, you know, they're reliable, parts are cheap, and they're a right laugh, really. You can't have more fun for £3.
I don't think, probably
I've had 25 cars now, so left.
25 cars?
About 25, I think, yeah.
Jeez.
If you count Helen's, I think I'm in, I've had about 20.
You did go for a stage of like changing them every 3 months, didn't you?
Yeah, I sort of got bored. I sold my Mark 1 MX5 about 4 years ago. Went through a spate of just trying to buy different cars to sort of replace it, and I couldn't replace it. There was nothing like it. So I've gone full circle and come back to an MX5 again, but I thought I'd try a Mark II this time.
Yeah, why not?
And being the Mark II, it's got more chassis bracing underneath. It's a stiffer ride.
I noticed it kind of skip over bumps a little bit.
Yeah, you find that a bit.
At the rear end.
Yeah, you do find that. They're not the best tyres on the back, so
Oh, maybe that's it.
they're plenty of tread, but they're not the best of makes. Yeah, that's
hedge finders on it.
they're sort of hedge finders, but they don't match their odd ones as well. So
You're telling me this now?
I'm telling you this now, but you enjoyed yourself, so it's not really matter, does it? Not killed us yet, so...
Oh yeah, there's some time.
Yeah, there's plenty of tread on them.
It's worse ways to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not. Obviously, you can feel it's an older car.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it doesn't feel like ancient to drive.
It still feels modern enough that it doesn't feel outdated.
Yeah.
I mean,
do you think it feels a lot more? I can't remember. It's been a while since I drove a Mark 1, but do you think this feels a lot more modern to drive than the
no,
Mark
it
1?
feels very similar to drive in terms of how old it is. It doesn't feel much more modern than the Mark 1. I think it just feels stiffer.
What year is this one?
This one's 99.
99.
My other one was 1989, so it's 10 years newer. Similar mileage though.
Yeah, it's done 78.
78
Is that miles?
Yeah, so that's miles.
77.
Well, I think it's miles.
Yeah. You think so?
I think it is.
You never quite know with the Jack
No.
car, do you? It's sort of like...
I mean, it's had the clock's changed to miles per hour. They've
Yeah, I see that.
changed that, so I think they've done the speedo as well.
Painted over the K.
Yes.
Always a good way to do it. It's got the right amount of power that you feel you can kind of have fun
Yeah, it's
without losing your license.
sort of harmless fun because you can.
That felt like I was going faster than 60 there. But
Yeah,
I
that's
wasn't
the
really.
good thing about it. It's the right amount of power. You can sort of, give it some beams. Most of the time, when you're not going much faster than the speed limit. It's slightly quicker than the 1.6, but not by much.
So this is 1.8 and what's the power on this?
So
Standard.
mixed opinions on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's, I think it's about 145.
It does make a nice sort of induction kind of roar,
Yeah.
doesn't it?
And I think it might have a aftermarket back box on, like an older one. I
Yeah.
didn't fit it. I think it's just an old one that was on there when I bought it.
Yeah, it sounds good.
Yeah, it's all right.
So yeah, tell me a bit about when you bought this. You told me it had a few extra little bits on
Oh,
it,
don't get me
didn't it?
started. Yeah, the bloke who I bought it off, he was probably, I think in his 70s, he passed away and his son got the car off him. But when his dad bought it, he put loads of stuff on it, like horrible black, like wolf race wheels, a picnic rack on the boot, the little chrome, horrible.
I know the things.
Gross. But yeah, basically I've tried to get it back to normal again, like standard. So I think the older I get, I sort of like these to be quite standard.
Yeah.
I think they can get ruined quite easily. A lot of boy races get hold of them and they just turn them into drift cars or whatever.
And you were telling me that you sourced handbrake.
Oh, that was quite
gear lever.
an interesting one because he basically put the leather gear knob from like a standard Mark II in here, and from factory it has the wooden Nardi gear knob and wheel and handbrake.
And you already had the wheel
cover.
in here.
The wheel was still here, but yeah, the other two I had to source off eBay, and they're quite rare. There's about 70 quid for the gear knob, I think, 75 quid.
Yeah.
I wasn't best pleased about, but I was trying to get it back to being, as standard as it once was. I do quite like where it's a special edition. It's nice to have it back to how it should be when it was made, more or less.
Yeah, you were saying this model's quite rare, isn't it, the Mark II?
Yeah, I think it's one of the rarer Mark IIs. They didn't import many of them because
How many they
I
made?
couldn't tell you. There wasn't loads and loads. But yes, the VS special edition, which I think in Japan is the more luxury sort of version of their special editions with the leather and aircon and the Bose sound system.
I think it's a nice balance. I think with an MX5 like this, you kind of want the best of both worlds. You want it to be fun, but you also want to be able to like have a weekend away in it or something like that, and like do some miles in it.
Yeah, it's one of those. It's got the best of both worlds really. It's got some of the more luxury features. You've got the leather seats and stuff and the aircon, which is quite nice. No.
Does it ever work in an old Japanese car?
I don't think I've had an old Japanese car yet where it does work.
It's like the law, isn't it?
Yeah. But you put the roof down, you know?
Yeah, you don't need it. Even that old MR2 I had, if you remember that, I had aircon issues in that, and that was quite a lot newer than this. Well, 5 years newer than this, actually.
Was yours like 54 plate?
04, I think it was, yeah. Actually, when you think about it that way, it's only 5 years apart.
Yeah.
Definitely like feels more dated in the interior, I would say, in this. But it's,
in this?
Yeah, it's an older kind of generation
I think
car.
The Japanese, especially the imports, they like their classic cars and the sort of the classic looking cars. Yeah.
Wrap it all the way around to 7,000.
7.5. Red limiter.
Let's just see how far it can go.
Quite far.
Bit cheeky.
Yeah, it's the Japanese import. The rev limiter is at 7,500 RPM. I think the standard UK spec was at about 6.5, so it revs about 1k higher to the red line, which is quite good. It's, you know, it gives you a more like immersive experience. You can keep it in gear longer and really working up the revs.
So what you're saying is, if you buy a Mark II MX5, this is the one to get.
If you buy a Mark II MX5, I'd go for a Mark II import. Obviously in Japan they call them the Mazda Roaster. They're not Mazda MX5s out there at the Mark II. But yeah, you get some of the extra goodies on it, and I think all the imports, I don't know for a fact, but I think most of them have got the 7.5k rev limit.
They obviously decided that us Brits weren't able to handle it.
Yeah, we can't cope with anything above 6, can we?
Yeah.
I might be wrong, it might just be the VS and the RS which had that fitted. They may not all have done.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure, but any information online about them is all either in Japanese or there's nothing there to actually give you any solid proof.
That's the problem. If they don't sell the car in even an English-speaking country or anything, it's difficult.
So I sourced, I managed to get hold of the original wheels off a guy in Portsmouth, which, 15-inch wheels, which were the right ones for the car. Because the ones that guy had on there were awful, the black ones, they were just shocking.
Yeah, you got a car like this, you want it to be fairly original.
Fairly original, yeah.
I'm all for a bit of OEM plus.
I think it keeps the price up where it needs to be as well. Anything too modified than these detracts from the sort of value of it.
Yeah.
I must be getting old though saying that. I never once
I like
done
a bit,
back
I like
in the
a
day.
bit of OEM plus, I'm all up for that.
Yeah.
Which way do you want to go?
Right.
I've yet to turn the windscreen wipers on, so that's good.
You've done well. I mean, yeah, most days I do that.
A little bit of body roll, but not too bad.
Yeah, but I'm sat on this side, so I'm quite heavy.
There you go.
The rev limiter works then.
Yeah. Just checking it works. You did say to send it, didn't you?
Yeah, you've got to send it.
You've got to get the
In a straight line, not sideways off the road into a hedge.
You've got to get the full experience.
Definitely. James is very helpfully and kindly said to me he'll put a full tank of Supreme unleaded in for me after we finish.
Once I get to 100,000 subscribers, that was the deal, wasn't it?
Deal.
Tank of super unleaded.
Super unleaded, yeah.
By the time I get to 100,000, then my luck it'll be like 10 quid a litre by that point.
Things of this, yeah, like you put 70 quid in it, gives you a full tank, and if you're lucky you get about 250 miles out of it.
Yeah.
70 quid. So
current prices.
Yeah, the thing of it is they're not awful on fuel, but to actually have any fun out of it, you've got to kind of...
Not awful, but not great either.
No, they're sort of in between, but to have any fun in this, you've got to really work the engine. So you end up using more, I guess.
Yeah, you can drive it sensibly, but then it's not...
I do drive sensibly most of the time to and from work and everything, but when I go out for a drive, you know, you've got to really enjoy it for what it is.
Come to life about 4.5, 5.
Yeah.
Still going.
Yeah, it revs for days, doesn't it?
Yeah, it just keeps on going. It's not. I don't think it's like particularly fast revving, is it? But it just keeps
going and going and going.
building.
You get bored by the time it actually gets to the top of the red line.
So there you have it, guys. I've shown you around this little MX5 and I've taken you out for a bit of a drive. What did I think of it then? Well, it's safe to say I really enjoyed myself, and I definitely feel like I get the whole MX5 thing now more than ever. It's easy to see why the car has been so popular over the years. While it might not be the fastest or the best at anything in particular, it just gets the basics of being a sports car so right. And it's genuinely hard to see how you could have much more fun for around £3,000 or so. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. I really appreciate it. I've got a few more interesting cars lined up soon, so hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video.